On to the midterms and battleground Pennsylvania. That is where there is a tight congressional race between incumbent Democrat Matt Cartwright and his two-time Republican challenger Jim Bognet. The closely watched rematch is largely seen as a potential flip seat. The district, which includes President Biden's hometown of Scranton, voted for Trump twice after going for Obama in 2012. And Republican candidate Jim Bognet joins us now. Jim, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it on this holiday weekend. I mean, you're just in the thick of it. Both former President Trump and President Biden hit Pennsylvania in just the last couple of days. Biden, who often touts his Scranton roots, gave this primetime address in Philadelphia vilifying MAGA. We just heard in Lucas Tomlinson's report that Trump has been pushing back on his stop in Pennsylvania on the stump. You got up on stage there in Wilkes-Barre as well. You are, of course, a Trump-backed candidate in this race. How big of a plus do you view the president's backing to be for you?
Well, thanks for having me. We were very proud and honored to have President Trump in town last night. The energy at the rally was palpable. People in Northeast Pennsylvania are ready for change. They're sick of the Biden-Cartwright administration. You know, Joe Biden came up on Tuesday and insulted and demeaned us. I called it the start of his Insult America tour. People are sick and tired of being attacked for not agreeing with Joe Biden and Matt Cartwright. They want change, and we're going to give it to them in 65 days.
So you ran against Representative Cartwright in 2020, losing then, longtime incumbent, held his seat. Why do you think that this rematch will have a different outcome?
We're hearing over and over again that Matt Cartwright and Joe Biden lied to us as voters. They said they were moderate and reasonable. They have governed as far left liberals. From inflation, gas prices, an open border, illegal immigration is killing Northeast Pennsylvania. We're hearing that people want change. I think it's a totally different election. Unlike last time, everyone knows who I am now. I was leading by 10,000 votes on election night. Many people thought I had been elected to congressman. So we just feel there's a tremendous outpouring of support. People saying we need a change in Washington. We need to stop one-party control, liberal control of Washington. Yeah, name recognition always a factor in these races.
The DCC chair, Representative Sean Patrick Maloney, of course from the Democrats, predicts that the Dems will hold the majority in November. Take a listen.
Yes, we're going to hold the majority in the House because we have a plan to fix the problems our country is facing. The other side has only a ploy to win back power for themselves, and ripping away our constitutional freedom, our reproductive freedom, has awakened millions of voters. And we see that in the astonishing comeback in the special elections in New York and elsewhere. We're on a roll, and we're going to win this election.
Now, along with the economy, abortion rights, they're polling pretty high as something that voters are thinking about, they're motivated by. How big of a factor do you think that'll be in your race?
My opponent, Matt Cartwright, has flip-flopped his view on abortion. He got elected as a pro-life Democrat. Now he says he's pro-choice. But I'll tell you what we know. Joe Biden and Matt Cartwright's position that abortion should be legal to the moment of birth is barbaric and evil. If you want to see more about my plan on how we fix the country, go to beatscrantonjoe.com. We think this referendum, or this election, is really a referendum on Biden's leadership, and that's what people are talking to me about. But I'll tell you what, on these other important issues, we know that we have the right side of the coin here, and that the other side, I'll tell you what, Cartwright and Biden are about the two most liberal politicians we've ever had claim to be from Northeast Pennsylvania.
You're bringing up sort of the ties with big names. You mentioned Biden, of course, and you have Trump in your corner. The late Speaker of the House, U.S. House, the late great Tip O'Neill, credited with saying all politics is local. Do you feel like your contest is a lot about being a political proxy war?
Well, I certainly feel that when people look at what's happening in Washington, that's what seems to be dominating their attention. The oil prices, that's a national issue. The illegal immigration, that's a national issue. So people say, how do we fix these problems that are confronting our little corner of Pennsylvania? And we think we need help in D.C. And the only way to fix D.C. is to stop sending the same people. I mean, Cartwright's been in D.C. for a decade. Biden's been in D.C. for half a century. We need new people, new blood if we want change in D.C. And that will help us here in Northeast Pennsylvania.
All right. We are certainly inching closer very quickly to the midterms. Jim Bognet, thank you so much for joining us, Republican candidate in Pennsylvania's 8th Congressional District. We appreciate your time and safe travels out there on the campaign trail. Thank you.
Thank you.